third thing that I would really think about, and again, this is really different depending on what type of business that you do, is building a team, right? Building a team, because leadership scales. That's what allows you to scale. When you're able to build a team, find people who do things that you may be weak at. Let's say you're in an agency, maybe you have people that you can hire that can do various different tasks, like a graphic designer, a video designer. If you're a realtor, maybe you can find an assistant, or maybe you can find other people that can help you. But really finding a right team that's not going to bankrupt you, right? You have to still be able to make a profit afterwards, but you still want to find a team that's going to allow you to be able to do what you're most good at. And you can begin to delegate out what is not as good, or just things that aren't very profitable. Like there are certain things that all of us have to do that doesn't really make us very much money. Like,
don't do the $5 an hour task.
Right. Like if you're like, putting together documents, or like in your case, you're much more profitable being on the phone with a potential new client than putting paperwork together. Right.
Yeah,
like that's not the most profitable use of your time.
Addition to my team was when I had a transaction coordinator, and you can get a transaction coordinator on a transaction basis. They set fee for listings and a set fee for buyers, and you don't pay them unless it closes. So they're fully as invested as you are, and they take care once it's under contract. They take care of the paperwork, and that allows you to not have to chase around people to sign stuff, and you could focus more on the clients that are looking, and you can focus more on your funnel. So it really helped me get to the next level is by adding that transaction coordinator. So I definitely agree. Build your team of people that will help you to scale, will help you to free up your schedule and be able to add in some other things.
Definitely, you want to understand what are the major things that are going to push your business forward. It goes back to, what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish. And if you reverse engineer that, then you could begin to put these other things in place. Then you can figure out what does my schedule need to look like in order to fulfill that goal? Like, what are the things that I'm most good at? What are the services that I'm offering? Like all of these different things. I think there's so much things that connect them that will, if you put them together and you really take all of these things that we talked about today and you put them into action, like you can definitely get a real game plan that's going to allow you to be successful. I don't think there's any real industry that what we talked about today that it wouldn't apply in.
Yeah,
I don't care if you're an insurance broker. I don't care if you're a real estate agent, a marketing agent. I don't care if you're a pastor. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Like all of these things are very applicable to every industry.
100% agree. Yeah, and these are things that we didn't get the breakdown of when we first started. And a lot of people are talking about other stuff, but these, I feel, for me, were the things that really helped push me up. Once I figured out, I got to fix my mindset. And once I figured out these things, I gotta have some like-minded people around me. Once I figured out, I gotta fix my schedule. Like once I figured those things out, other things started to fall in place, and opportunities started to come to me that I didn't have to go get. And I became kind of a magnet for others that were the same. Yeah. And not to get too churchy, folks said that a lot of times leaders attract people that are similar to them. And if you want to be a certain place, you have to develop that level of whatever it is that you're wanting. So if that means reading a book pertaining to business every month, audiobook, do that. It's going to be different, but do that. And it doesn't have to be overnight. It could be 30 minutes a day. It could be 15 minutes a day. And studies show that reading before you go to sleep is beneficial to a restful sleep. So read for 15 minutes before you go to bed. And bro, I'm telling you, it will change your mindset, and you'll see how crazy you'll be. Like, man, it's crazy. I've been doing this for 6 weeks, and now like negative stuff comes into my mind, and I'm like, nah, you out, get out of here, boom. And I'm on to the positive, and I'm creating that defense mechanism to stop myself from spiraling down. And when you spiral down, you are no help to nobody. And again, nobody's coming to rescue you. You got to do it. There's nobody. And if that means turning on a podcast like this and listening, like, yo, man, let me get back on it. Let me get back, and getting encouragement that way, you got to do that. Nobody's going to come and say, hey, can you listen to this? Hey, can you read this? Nah. You gotta know, hey, I'm heading in the wrong direction. What is something that I could use to recalibrate myself to be back on track? Because it happens to all of us.
And understand too, like these resources, whether it's a podcast or reading, none of them make the journey less difficult, right?
Oh yeah. Say that again.
None of these things make the journey less difficult. It's still going to be hard.
Hey.
It's still going to require work. Like
say it again, Pastor.
We all want things to be easier. We all are looking for that secret shortcut, right? That secret thing that's going to make everything that we're doing so much less difficult. Man, if I just do this, then it's just going to be so much easier. Once we find that thing, we might share it with you, but we're probably going to charge you a lot of money for it. But
there's no easy button, son.
It's just not. It does not work that way. Like at the end of the day, we all have to go through it. We all have to grind, but we become better in the process. Are there some people who have it a lot easier because they have a lot more resources at their disposal? Yeah, but guess what though? Guess what? When you have it easier, a lot of times you're not, when it does get tough, you're not built strong enough to be able to handle it, because eventually things get hard for everybody in business, right? There's a level where it's going to get difficult. And if you just had it easy at the beginning, let's say you just struck gold at the very beginning. You had one viral video that just blew up and everything you touched turned to gold. Okay, that's cool. But eventually there's going to come a point that it's not going to be, things are going to be difficult for you, and you don't have this time period that prepares you for the difficultness. But when you go through this grind at the beginning and you learn about yourself and about how business really works, it prepares you for the next level. You don't want it easy, because then you're not going to be prepared for the challenges that you're going to ultimately face, because everyone has them. And and that's the thing. Like, we have to stop wanting it to be easy. Like, it's not going to be. Like, it's not going to be easy. But the things that we shared about today will, or at least give you a path. It's not going to make the path more easy. It just gives you things to do. That's all we're here to do. Like, so don't think this is just going to, oh man, if I listen to this podcast, they're going to make my life so much easier. And I'm just going to have all these easy.
There's no easy button. There's no easy button in life. I know this is probably supposed to go on a different podcast, a different episode, but I get an itch. I get annoyed. I get peeved. I don't know if it's indignation. I don't know what it is, but I feel some type of way when I hear in the church space when people say, God is going to A, cancel your debt, B, give you stuff, when that same God that has the ability to cancel your debt also has the ability to give you and help you develop a set of skills and create a business to pay off your debts and be financially free the same way. And I believe that God is more evident in scripture than the God that's just giving it to you without you having to do anything. So please, please adopt a mindset that God is a helper of those who help themselves.
Please.
Why did he take the talent away from the guy who hid it and gave it to the one who already had the most? Because he knew how to work. He knew what was expected of him. He wasn't afraid to take risks. Like, come on, people. Let's stop waiting for the handout when God is giving you a hand up and giving you an opportunity, especially in this age of digital marketing and digital. Like, come on. I know nurses who have opened up businesses that are making multiple six figures. I know people who have turned their esthetician business, where they were just an esthetician at a spa, turned it into their own place of business, and now they're making six figures doing the exact same thing they were doing for somebody else. But they leveraged their ability to connect with people. They leveraged the internet and marketing. They leveraged the now empty offices that have turned into executive offices, and now they have a place of business that they're paying $500, $700, $800 a month, all in, and they bought some equipment with the money they saved from their 9 to 5, and they started out just doing it on the days that they weren't working. To now they're doing full
you're
time.
you're sugarcoating it. God is not your sugar daddy. God is not your sugar daddy.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, just know it's going to take work, man. I just know it's going to take work. And there's another adage. I'm throwing a lot of quotes out here. But opportunity comes dressed in work clothes. Like, be ready to work. It's going to be work. It's going to suck sometimes. And that's what I tell my son. He loves basketball. He enjoys it. And I tell him, look, sometimes even something that you love is going to feel like work because you're not going to want to do it. But again, it goes back to commitment. It goes back to routine. It goes back to doing the things that need to be done even when you don't want to do it. You got to do it.
So as you all can see, we have a lot of opinions about the current state of our church, which we will be talking about in our next episode. So
hey, tune in.
With all of that being said, that's all for today's episode of Level Up with Larry and Leo. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more insights, insightful discussions, don't forget to subscribe. Everywhere that you can subscribe. And a special thank you.
Hit the notification button so you can get the new episodes, new clips that come on too, man. Come on, show us some love. We giving you what we got. Take the journey with us.
And a special thank you to our sponsors, Next Level Media Marketing and Curb and Key Realty, for their support in making this episode possible. Thank you again for tuning in, everyone. Remember, no matter where you are in the journey, there are always opportunities to learn, grow, and level up. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.